here? Where are you coming from? And where are you going? And that's the question that I put today for us to assess. Okay, who are you? You know, not what's your name, but, you know, who are you? What's your character like? You know, to get from this, and that was a huge turning point in my life. And what it said on the page was this: when I was young and free, and my imagination had no limit, I dreamed of changing the world. But the world would not change. So I shortened my sight somewhat and decided to change only my country. But it too seemed immovable. As I grew older and wiser, I decided to change only my family, those closest to me. But still, they would not change. And now as I lay on my deathbed, it occurred to me that if I'd only changed myself first, then by example, I would have changed my family. From their inspiration and motivation, I may have been able to have an impact on my community and possibly my country. And who knows, I may have even been able to change the world. One individual can change the world. One individual can change the world. You look at athletes, artists, politicians, doctors, like scientists, you name it. One individual, we can all think of one individual who's changed the world in a certain area. And so that's what I had to come to terms with, was that, Jeff, you are not going to fix the world. So you have to do what you can where you are with what you have. And I saw all these creatures and predators that were preying on our youth, and that was my mission. That was my goal, to say, I can do this. In the community where I work, I can interact with so-and-so, and I can interact with this individual, and I can go and do a speech and a presentation here and there, and I can counsel this young person with the faith and the belief and the passion that exponentially I may make a difference. And so that's where I got to. I found that, and that's why now, so we're talking about substance abuse. And so the point that I got to in with my career, what I do out there on the streets now, is I no longer wag my finger and talk to people about substance abuse. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. My aim now, and I find that it works. Again, that's how we've all been given different skills and abilities and talents and gifts and so forth. And how I'm able to have that impact is to educate young people on the importance of working on their mind. That's what I found. Because if you have a high regard and a high self-esteem and self-confidence about yourself, you will not need to resort to substance abuse. And there were a lot of us as police officers. I saw a lot of police officers who resorted to substance abuse because they felt that their lives were unfulfilled. And the substance that they turned to was alcohol. So that is my mission now. That is my purpose. That's my central focus and goal, is to educate young people on the power of their minds. The truth is that the most powerful tool that all of us have in our bodies is our mind. And that's why we play mind games with each other. Because if I can defeat you in your mind, then I've got you. That's why we play mind games. That's why on social media we're liking and loving, ourselves, and we're making condescending remarks about other people. That's why in politics you have one leader saying something condescending against another leader. That's why in the States you have a former president saying all kinds of craziness and stuff, and a vice president saying some other stuff about that former president and so forth. It's mind games. Nobody has to put chains on any one of us in order to enslave us. I don't have to put handcuffs on any one of you in order to restrain you. Nobody has to tie you up in order for you to be bound. People just have to tie up your head with stress, like we saw earlier from Julia's presentation, I think it was yours, with stress, with worry, with anger, with hostility, with rebellion. And they can make you physically sick because your mind is sick. And so sometimes what we have to do is ask for a new mind. This one's not working so good. I need to change my perspective. I need to look at the way I do things, look at the way I consider some stuff. Okay? And so that's the focus now, in that we have to evolve. Because what we've been doing in the past has not been working. You know, we can wait until everybody's hooked on substances and then try to treat them, or we can try and get at them. And that's what I find now. I have to get to these young people at the age of 10, 11, and 12 to start getting them to see their self-worth before these other creatures and predators get at them, you know, with, again, with weed. You know, again, it's a gateway drug is what I'm hearing. And again, it's been legalized now, but as was said again this morning, which I so appreciate, is that just because it's there, just because it's legal, doesn't mean you need to do it. And I've seen so many young people whose brains have not yet been fully developed. Now they're into this psychosis stuff. Now they're into, I'm not sure of the proper diagnosis and stuff, but they're messed up. They're messed up. And so it's very important that we realize, again, that in any situation that we find ourselves, if we can pull our minds out of there, the rest of us will follow. If you can get your mind out of that situation, you can get your money out, you can get your job, you can get your career, you can get your health, you can get your love, success. And all we have to do in whatever situation we find ourselves is to stand up and walk over to ourselves. Look yourself in the face, grab yourself by the head, pull yourself up and tell yourself, I do not belong here in this situation. And it's easier said than done for some people. You know, I turned to journaling, I turned to songwriting, I turned to talking with my peers and so forth. Some people need the professional help, you know, of coaching and stuff. There's a point when I got to a certain stage in my life as well that I was stuck. I couldn't go on. And, you know, my girlfriend here, she's a life coach, and I had to turn to her and say, hook a brother up, you know? And that put me over the edge to where I needed to go, where I had that boost that I needed. Because a lot of us, we can only go so far as individuals. We can only go so far by ourselves. If you're going to go further, you need to hook up with some other people who's going to carry you the rest of the way. But a lot of times, we turn inwards and we don't share. And so, again, I've changed up my presentation because, again, I decided I was going to bring in, I have the liberty from Williams as well to freestyle. So I just wanted to share humbly what works for me. And now I just want to share. So for me, it was music. Music was therapy for me. I love all kinds of music. There's no bad music. So there's certain different types, different activities and so forth that you're doing where, yes, this is the music that's going to give you that boost, it's going to push you, you know? And so I realized it's amazing to me that today was therapy for me. I hate the fact that when I walked in and I sat down, I was listening to the professor, and then I heard the subsequent speaker, and then I heard the following speaker. I'm like, man, I hate that I have to get up there and speak, because that was such therapy for me, because everything that I thought about it, that I had agreed with, I was getting that same reaffirmation that yes, this is therapy, this is good. And so for me, it was music. And so I just want to share with you a couple songs that I wrote, that took me through, and that I shared with other people that I had no idea was going through those struggles. And so motivated me to say, yes, keep sharing. Keep going on that track that you're doing, that you're on. You know, you're not the only one in this situation. Humble yourself. You know, you put your uniform on, you know, you walk around like you're, you know, this big strapping, you know, superhero, you know, but underneath, nobody knows, you know, the struggles and the challenges. And that's why I say to other police officers who are going through issues as well, I have to remind them that you're qualified to do the job that you're doing. Not because your life is perfect, but because you've been through some struggles, some challenges, some obstacles, and you have some answers that may bring somebody else along. And that's why we work on developing ourselves, not just for ourselves as individuals, but so that we can bring other people along. So at this point, I just want to share a couple of songs, and then another 2 minutes to wrap up my presentation. Now, I'm a policeman, so I'm not a singer, so just listen to the words. Don't listen to the voice. I don't think so. I asked the cold wind, so why am I here? What do I do? Why should I care about any of you? Why does the river flow to the sea? Why does the wind never listen to me? Don't wanna be another bullet in a gun. I wanna be nothing if I cannot be the one to hit the target and knock it right down. Don't want to live life just standing around. So I asked my Father in the sky why He created you and I. Are we just here to live and die? Why do so many people cry? Is it okay to ask Him why? Most of the world believe a lie. I guess I will know by and by. So why am I here? What do I do? Why should I care about any of you? Why does the river flow to the sea? Why does the wind never listen to me? I don't want to be another bullet in a gun. Wanna be nothing if I cannot be the one to hit the target and knock it right down. Don't want to live life just standing around. So much time has come and gone. tomorrow never comes? What if my time on earth is done? What did I give? What have I done? Did I fight or did I run? Was I the rock you leaned upon? Did I help you see the sun? So why am I here? What do I do? Why should I care about any of you? Why does the river flow to the sea? Why does the wind never listen to me? Don't wanna be another bullet in a gun. Don't wanna be nothing if I cannot be the one to hit the target and knock it right down. Don't wanna live a life just standing around. So I asked my Father in the sky why He created you and I. Thank you. And the last song I'll do is something I heard about it as well. I think it was somebody at this table mentioned this morning about how sometimes we'll ask somebody, hey, how are you? Or they'll say good morning. And you know, you have no idea what their good morning is or what it means. And so what I've come to appreciate and what I've learned, this is how I conduct mine, that's me personally. If I don't have time to hear your answer, I won't ask how you are. You know, it seems like that's what we do now. Say, hey, how are you? And we keep going. And I had my own issues again, you know, with something like this, and I've seen it over and over where I ask somebody, hey, how are you? It's all fine. And I know you're not fine. That's not true. You're not fine. And so that was my motivation for penning this song. It's called Poison. Sorry, I haven't sung in a while, so I smile for you as you pass me by, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Tears of sad and broken dreams. I don't want you to see the real me. So I smile for you as you pass me by, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Tears of sad and broken dreams. I don't want you to see the real me. I'm hungry for love, but I'm full of hate. I need help, but I hesitate. I gotta move before it's too late. Get this poison out my head. I say I'm fine when you ask how I'm doing. I don't want you to see me hurt. Outside I'm alive, inside I'm dead. There's so much poison in my head. I'm hungry for love, but I'm full of hate. I need help, but I hesitate. I gotta move before it's too late. Get this poison out my head. So much to say, but I don't know just where to begin. You can see my shame, you can feel my pain. I won't let you in. So much to say, but I don't know just where to begin. You can see my shame, you can feel my pain, but I won't let you in. I just smile for you as you pass me by, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Tears of sad and broken dreams, I don't want you to see the real me. I'm hungry for love, but I'm full of hate. I need help, but I hesitate. I gotta move before it's too late. Get this poison out my head. So I smile for you as you pass me by, 'cause I don't want you to see me cry. Tears of sad and broken dreams, I don't want you to see the real me. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to finish with one of my favorite poems. It's the last slide. It's the last slide. I don't know if you can get the last one. Thanks. It's one of my favorite poems. It's called The Will to Win. The Will to Win. And like it took me, I knew what my goals were and I knew what I wanted to do as a career. And you're not always going to succeed the first time. And this is why I encourage these young people, that you need to have this will to win, this drive, this passion. If you're not, you'll never accomplish anything without faith. You have to have that belief, you have to have that drive, you need to have that passion. If you don't have a passion for it, you will never do it. And The Will to Win is a poem by Burton Braley. And it says that if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, work day and night for it, give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if only desire of it makes you quite mad enough never to tire of it, makes other things tawdry and cheap for it. And if life seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and you dream is about it, if gladly you'll fret for it, sweat for it, plan for it, and lose all terror of the opposition for it, if you will simply go after that thing that you want, with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famished and gaunt, nor sickness nor pain of body or brain can turn you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. Amen. Thank you.
There are times when I'm lost of words. My dictionary becomes very narrow for me to look for the right words to appreciate. A police officer, an expert in very many things, but also a musician and then a poet. I mean, that's a bit. We want to thank you. When you got into this room, the very first thing I saw about you, besides the height, was your smile. It wasn't like you were smiling directly to a particular person, but you were smiling to anybody that you find. You didn't know what you were adding value to. And smiles is part of mental therapy. Music is part of mental therapy. Now, poetry is equally part of mental. Thank you. And of course, there's something he said. He does not so much enjoy coming quickly to drive, to handcuff whoever is messy. He changed the way he is running things. This time round, he wants to tell people on how they can run their lives positively. Now that is a solution-based solution. Then we have lesser work, tedious work that police officers have to do. It doesn't have to be kafla, I mean, better to speak to people so that a few that won't listen, the long arm, the Lord will take charge. So we want to thank you very much. Thank you so much for being among us. I've been on around 16 conferences officiating a song in Canada since I arrived, and I've not seen one with a police officer speaking to us on how to be good people and on how to help out. The words in the songs were very good. What is it you're doing? Heavenly Father, did you create me just to come and go? It was lovely. Thank you. Are those your compositions?
Preaching.
Beautiful. So somebody was asking, when is your launch? So that we can. You need to do a concert, you know? Organize a concert. We are here. The MC is already here.
So she's my biggest promoter, and I honestly would say anything some of my music are on iTunes and Spotify, and it's under Geoffrey. Stride. So yeah, it's just been released a few months. So I should have put up the
Dates, time, venue.
yeah. I will try to do better, but yeah, some of my music can be found on Spotify and on iTunes. iTunes under Stride.
I am
STRID.
police officer can preach to me. What am I doing? I don't know if they can
Just by speaking.
Please, come on, tell us. Promoter.
Yeah, he has amazing songs, and yeah, he does. I'm really confident. So if I mess some words or grammar in English,
okay.
yeah. So he has a lot of
Skill?
yes, and also a lot of wonderful songs. They are not all of them released, but on Spotify. But if you want to find them, just put Stride and Another Fly on the Wall. A lot of songs about mental resilience, mental health, abuse, women abuse, and a lot of yeah, those topics which are not always outspoken of, yeah. And also on YouTube, it's radio, but still, yeah, some motivational songs you can find. But Another Fly on the Wall is like a cool phrase, you know, because just to find what I used before, to find Jeff's music. Yeah, thanks for sharing your talent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you very much. It's a lovely conference. You and I can agree that we are spending time in the right way that we should. It's time well spent. Thank you for taking part in the pictures. But also, I was giving you time to calm down, relax. But your story is quite eye-catching. We are all listening. We are all feeling you. And we want to thank you for sharing the story. It takes courage to speak it out. I was this and now I'm this. Meaning that if you're this and you're struggling, there's hope. You give us hope. Thank you very much. Do you have any song from Ukraine? Any song from Ukraine for us to appreciate Yona? have a medical doctor. And all the details. Many of us have a lot of questions, but she has to go back to work. She's needed for duty, and that's the reason why we may not have the talk that is supposed to be here, but we need to give her time to speak to us before those questions. Our police officer is off today. He asked for an off just to be here with us. So we are going to ask those questions as soon as we can. But for now, I need to introduce our next speaker. I hope you are still okay seated. If you feel like stretching a little bit, you can stretch and then you sit back. We don't want you to get any, black clothes or anything. You can stretch. Our washrooms are right downstairs. That does not have much hope to be well, completely well. They will worry about it. They'll get stressed about it. They'll be depressed about it. They'll think of the grave every other time. Anytime you know that at this particular age, you probably will be alive or not, or you'll have children that have this issue or that issue. We talked about HIV, we talked about cancer, we talked about many chronicles that we do not, we only have medication to make us feel well enough for the next day, but we don't know if we shall be alive for another year. So at this point in time, that's the reason why we have one particular doctor, Dr. Melanie Kirby, an academic clinician at Sick Kids Foundation and Associate Professor of Pediatrics at the University of Toronto. She's going to come and spell it out, sickle cell disease, the pain and the misunderstanding that many people have. Of course, there's so much that we know, but we need to get facts today. And also, she's going to tell us how we can cope, because there are some sickle cellers that actually survive, get married,